What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto. We are going to talk about stocks today. One stock today, NIU Technologies. It's an electric scooter company. They're the biggest electric scooter company in the world. I've never ridden one. I've never used one. I've never actually. I have seen one in the real world, but I've never like been on one. Um, I have some friends that own a shop in a hometown that I'm from, and they sell them there. Um, and they said that they're nice scooters. They said good things about them, so that's a plus. But we're not here to talk about the product. We're here to talk about the charts. I got this fib pulled up. I want to just get right into it here and go over where I think it's going. We're at 418 right now, and I believe that we are going to go at a price that's at least at 726, if not 832, in a very short amount of time. I don't think it's going to stop there. I do think it's going to go higher. Um, but good things take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Um, we're gonna go to 7:30 to 8:35, 8:30, whatever, 7:30 to 8:30. Whenever we were down here, I was saying that we were gonna go to $9 or $10, and I'm not wrong. We are gonna do that, but it didn't happen. These are weekly candles. It doesn't happen overnight. This is back in October of 2022. Here we are in May of 2023. It takes time sometimes. But whenever this thing does move, whenever it goes up, it likes to do it quickly. And I believe we're in one of those quick up moving moments. So the reason I drew this fib from here to down here is because this is the all-time low. And this was the last high that we had before having our final descent, our final capitulation down. And we can just see, coming out, it had a massive, a brutal, ugly downtrend. And this little, from here down, this little stint was a lot more dramatic. Had an arc down. It had a decline that was, from a percentage standpoint, a lot steeper, and just no green candles the whole way down. And then we finally got some green candles. High volume came in. There was interest at buying down here. If we draw a fib from this low, maybe from this low, because that's how it likes to do it, to this high. I mean, we bounced right off the 1414. We're finding support on the 1272. We found resistance right here at this. I like this fib. Generally, just a little thing. Whenever you come down to fib extensions, and then you're starting to find support on them, generally you look for prices to go back to the 618. And the 618, funnily enough, is right here at this like previous high, right at that level, literally. I would at least expect a move to the 886, which is at that 780 region, which I said 730 to 830, so that fits that zone. It could go to the 786 too, but when I see this kind of behavior, especially a bounce off of the 1272 specifically, or the 1618, the 1414 too, but the 1272, you could bounce off the 1618, come back down to the 1414. When you see a bounce off the 1272, you see it holding a support. This is indicative that a move to the 618 is coming. It might take months, it might take time. I might not be in NIU by then. It might be time to go full send into crypto. I might be in NIU, we'll see. We'll see how fast it takes off, how much volume comes in and stuff. We are above the 50 on the weekly RSI. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing anytime you get that. We did have bullish divergence from here down to here, and generally when you see bullish divergence play out, you at least go back to where it started to form, and it started to form here at 834, which again, the original zone I was talking about was 730 to 830, so that fits. That all kind of makes sense. There's a lot of stuff pointing to this area, and I know I said the 618 is what you look for, and I do think it'll go there, but it's not uncommon to bounce off the 1272, come and find resistance at the 886 or the 786, somewhere in there, find support off of these areas, and then make your final way up to the 618 or beyond. There's other fibs. If we draw, and a chart can respect multiple fibs at the same time if they line up. We draw this fib again, right? This was what sent us on our final descent. We showed respect to the 618. We're showing respect on the 382. We bounced off it. We closed at it. We're showing respect on the 236. We found support on it. When you get the stair-stepping formation, especially after resisting the 618 one, like literally if we zoom into it about 5 times. You got a wick here, a wick here, a wick here, a wick here, a wick here. Five times we found resistance on the 618. I would expect that the sixth pass, I can't believe we had 5 passes already, but the sixth pass, I would expect us to cut through the 618 with ease, Generally, when you cut through the 618 on the first attempt, you look for extensions immediately. If you found resistance on it, you come back down, you don't look for the extensions immediately. You look for these deeper retracements at the 786, which is at $7.30, to the 886, which is just under $8.30. Sounds familiar, right? It's like those same zones we were just talking about earlier. We take this fib off, we can go to a smaller fib. This is a more like recent relative fib. Most recent high to the most recent low. I'm kind of expecting us to break through the 618 on this fib on the first pass. There's not really a whole lot going on here. Yes, it is kind of a previous support zone, so we could find a little bit of resistance on it, but I do expect us to break through this, and if we do break through this with ease at $4.80, then that means that we're looking for extensions. And the extensions happen to be at 730, 810, 925. The 1618 is higher than the previous range that I was just talking about, and that I'm okay with higher prices. But these two fibs right here, the 1414 and the 1272, which in my opinion are like the minimum extensions to meet, kind of lines up in that same area that we were looking at before. And while yes, there's a lot pointing to this area, this $7.30 to $8.30 area, that doesn't mean that it has to respect that zone. It can blow straight through it. It literally could, I mean, we haven't had times like that, but hell, we had a 37% week right here where it went from $11 all the way up to $20 in 1 week, and it came back down. The next week, we closed here at $18 and we went all the way up to $25. Things can happen very quickly when this thing likes to get going. And to be fair, when we saw this giant candle, we were in the overbought zone. A lot of people think the overbought zone means it's a good time to sell, and don't get me wrong. If you sold up here at 20 and it went back down to 14 and you bought, you did great. You did really great. You could have played off this indicator a little bit. But if you sold as soon as we got into the overbought zone, which was May 26, 2020, right here this week, if you sold this week as soon as we got into the overbought zone, you missed like most of the rally, man. You literally did. May 26th, the price is at a high of 1088. It closed at 1065. If you sold there, you missed out on prices going all the way up to, you missed out on a 5x, like basically a 5x there, potentially. It wouldn't have been a straight. This was a straight ride up. It was a straight ride up until we got into the overbought zone. Then we started seeing some volatility play out, cooled down, got back up. But the main point I'm trying to deliver here is that strong moves happen when the RSI is strong. It's the relative strength index, RSI. So when you're in overbought conditions, as much as you might feel that initial, like intuitive, mind you, it's intuitive to think when you're overbought that it's a good time to sell. And it's probably a better time to sell than whenever it's oversold, don't get me wrong. But the strongest moves happen in overbought and oversold conditions. Overbought, bullish, strong moves. Oversold, bearish, strong moves. And don't get me wrong, you can get a nice bounce whenever you're in oversold conditions too. But the strongest downtrend that we saw, the most consistent, just destructive, increased percentage of a decline, like it literally curves down, happened when we were oversold. Here we are, above the 50. That's good. That's really good. We like to see that. And on the daily, we are actually, in fact, overbought right now. We're at 421. It's going up as we speak. I don't know if I said this already, but NIU, from what I know about it, it does like to open weak and close the day strong. So here we are with 5 hours, 15 minutes left. I would expect whenever we get to the last hour of NIU, maybe the price is here at 423, maybe it's back here at 410. Whatever price it's at in the last hour, I expect the last hour to pump, or the last 30 minutes to pump. It does it every time when it's bullish. Maybe not every time, but generally it does that. We've got the pink line here, the 123 MA, and we've got our long-term RSI, the 123 RSI at 46. If price and when price goes above this purple line up here, and the RSI is below the 50, that's not generally a good thing. Um, in my experience, when we get price that goes above this line, but the RSI is below the 50, here it is at the highest, it went to 47.11, and the price was above this pink line the whole time. If you sold up here, would have been a great time to sell because then it went back below it. Um, Generally, though, on a second pass, and with the fact that we're already like in kind of a higher zone now, and we're looking to keep climbing, playing off of this bullish divergence even here, I am expecting us to find support on this line. So we might come through it, we might come back down and find support, and then it's back off to the races. It might not be a straight shot all the way up because we are in overbought conditions. But being in overbought conditions is normally whenever we get our strong. So if we look back here, when we got into overbought for the first time, that was this day right here. The literal next day after being in overbought conditions, we saw a pump of, how much was that? 10%, double digit pump. The next day we saw a 3% pump. It's a red candle, but it gapped up, it went higher. The next day we saw a 14% pump. So over the next 3 days after getting into the oversold condition, from the daily close, after 3 days we pumped 36%. If we pumped 36% from here, just from this current price, 36%, that would put us at $5.82, and that would put this fib, this long-term fib, really close to the 50. I don't think it would quite reach the 50 yet. It'd probably be around like 49 actually. And we could see, and I would not be surprised if we saw a pullback back to this purple line. But you can see the purple line is sloping upwards now. As the days go on, this purple line is going to go up. So by the time that we do reach prices up this high and it comes to pull back, it's not going to pull back to 430. Maybe it pulls back to 450, 460, maybe higher. Maybe it doesn't pull back. Maybe it keeps going. I don't know. But generally, man, it just keeps pumping. I like seeing this. Generally, when you're below the 50 on this RSI and you're above this purple line, it's not a good thing, generally. But it doesn't have to pull back. It could just keep going. We'll see. If enough volume comes in, if enough buying power comes in, forget everything I just said. Because we are in overbought conditions. We are in strong price area conditions. And if we look at the volume here, we've got 5 hours left in the day. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes into this trading day, and we already have a pretty substantial amount of volume. If like I said, we have a strong daily close and more volume comes in, we could see this trend of increasing volume as price increases continue, and that's absurdly bullish. That's nice to see. There's one more thing I want to do. I like having the ribbon on here. Carl from the Moon, if you know who that is. If you don't, look him up. He's a great guy, crypto investor. I like Carl. I don't really like to listen to him for trading advice, but he's the one that got me into trading, to be completely fair. So props to that guy. Let's see here. Weekly. So I'm going to delete all this stuff here. If we look at this ribbon, and it's on the log scale. Yeah, it's on the log scale. Yellow line comes up. It's bull time. We found support on it. Time to go. We get the cross right here. We came up and tested it as resistance, confirmed it as resistance, and shit the bed. Generally, whenever you get a first pass into the ribbon, you come back down and you get a second pass, generally, you expect to go above the ribbon. Not to the top of it, but above it. And above it would put us at a price at 656. We are on the second pass right now. I'm not saying it's going to be a straight shot through. I do expect us to come up, find support on some of these lines. It could be a straight shot through. Nobody really knows until we get there, But as we see here, even, I don't know. We've got, we came into the ribbon here. We came back, had a couple passes. We didn't have a nice bounce at all. We kind of showed that we were coming into the ribbon. We came all the way down below it. After having multiple passes into it, we came all the way through it, confirmed it as resistance, and then just shit the bed from there. Where here we bounced off this line, we didn't come into it. Here we bounced off this line, we didn't come into it. Once you come into the ribbon, this should be like, hold up, this next pump might be our last one, and it wasn't really, it was kind of a volatile. It didn't go to higher prices. It was kind of volatile here, but being stuck in the ribbon this long is not a good thing. Just as flirting with the ribbon, being in the ribbon this long, is a good thing. Whenever it's from the opposite perspective, when we're on the downside of it. So I would expect that price at least goes above 650. Here we are at 425 right now. The day will probably close higher than this. It could go lower in the meantime. Like if by the last hour price is back at like 410, then maybe it closes around 420, 425. 420 would be okay with me. If we go to the daily, what's really exciting about the daily is we are starting to get a cross up. Starting to. Let's see. I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah. So technically today is the first day that the yellow line crossed above this lighter yellow line, or this orangish yellow line. And as price stays above this ribbon, we're only going to get that cross more and more. And I want to show you what happened the last time we had a bullish cross. So the last time we had a bullish cross, on the day of this bullish crossing, we had a 19% pump. You can see the percentages up here, 19% pump. And to be fair, it kind of wig-wagged after that. It didn't really do much, but let's see here. 19.74% pump all the way up from the beginning of the cross to the most relative high. It went up 30%. And we are not even at the cross yet. Price can keep going. It could stay here, whatever. But let's just say from here, we moved sideways, and eventually we got the cross because we're above the ribbon. So eventually it will cross if we just keep moving sideways, or if we go higher. A 30% pump from here would put us at 556, which, to be fair, isn't really anywhere. So I would expect a greater than 30% pump from here, at least to these previous highs, and honestly, I would think beyond then. If we go to 730, that's a 71% pump, 8 monthly. We can go. I mean, the ribbon up here is crossed to the downside. I hate seeing a monthly bearish cross. That's not good. But you can see that this cross happened literally right at the low. It's not uncommon, and if this stays bearish, if we find resistance on this and it stays bearish, it's not uncommon once you get across to pull back into the ribbon. And that right now, on a monthly scale, we have 9 days left. It'll come back down as the months go on. But right now, that's at about $9. So even if NIU doesn't progress its way up to new highs or stuff like that, a 2x, a 100% pump is completely possible with this stock. And I think it's inevitable. I think it is going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see when we get there, And yeah, I feel like I've gone on and talked about this enough. Here we are at 426. The month here, if we look at it, actually, it had a nice little tweezer bottom. We came all the way down, and we actually have a higher monthly low off of higher monthly lows. In this zone last time, we actually had a nice rally toward the end of the month, just like we are now. We're actually even rallying higher than we did last time we went. This is all bullish things, and we're on earnings day. Today is literally the day of earnings, and we've got a lot of volume coming in, and it looks like good price action. We came back down, and we're literally like testing. I mean, if this has a strong enough daily close, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it has a strong enough daily close, this red line will get brought up to the bottom there, and it would look like we bounced off the ribbon, which would be kind of cool. I'm not really expecting that. I think it would have to go. It could happen, but I'm not really expecting that. Anyways, it's really cool to see on the monthly that we've got this little tweezer bottom here, and an engulfing candle on the monthly too. If in the next 9 days and 6 hours, technically the next 10 days, whatever, we can get above 437, we had 1 month engulf 2 months of price action at higher lows, around the all-time lows. This is all bullish things, and I really don't expect it to turn around at $9. I do expect it to go higher. So if not, whatever, there will be signs whenever we're up there. But for now, I am optimistic on this asset. It's got a $313 million market cap right now. If we were to go from here to its all-time highs, that is a 12x basically. 12 times 13 or 313 would be like 30 billion, right? Or no, 3 billion. 3 billion. 3.6 billion. Let's go with 3.7 billion. Around there. $3.7 billion. So it's already had a multi-billion dollar market cap. It could 10x from here. It literally could 10x from here. It's it's gone up there before. It'll take time. It will take months, years even. But I do expect this thing to do great things in the future. I'm probably not going to hold it the whole way up because crypto is far more exciting, but I am holding it for now because I'm not excited about crypto. I am kind of bearish on crypto at the moment, so I'm in a stock that I'm less bearish on because that just makes sense to me. If you like the video, if you like me over explaining things and beating a dead horse with information, click the like button, click the subscribe button. I'm going to make more videos, keep it going, and I hope you all have a good day. And if you buy NIU, it is a little, you are a little bit late to the party. We had a 14% pump this month already, but yeah, it's a good time to end it. Thank you guys. Have a good day.